First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Detroit Lions. Oh, good return up past the 30. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly going to get a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to look for some big yardage. Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now, because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets his offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now, because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Justin Jefferson from 6 yards away. And the Lions put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Shifts by him. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time, either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown game. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Flowers going to go in motion right. To throw is Jackson. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Well, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson. You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way, and then try to match his athleticism.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now as the quarterback.
Gibbs gets pumped and he loses the football. And it's picked up by the And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Complete. Jefferson the target. To give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Gibbs. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Well, there was a 42, making a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try to force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. Defensively, they were in a 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's second down.
Jamar Chase. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 44-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Off the option, here's Henry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. That play ended for a net loss by Jesse Bates.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Throwing now is Mahomes. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to...
Gibbs gets pumped and he loses the football.
Wow, that ball is not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Mahomes going to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
This will go to Henry out wide. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's Jackson to throw. Pass complete there to Nakua.
Jackson's pass.
A gain of 5. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Again, Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now a 2nd and 2. Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Baltimore, first down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at the 31-yard line.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the 3rd quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Jackson now. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Number 6 brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
Play action. It's Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And getting this just shy of midfield. They're spotted at the 49. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the first.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns. Yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. A short one there, caught by Likely. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. To throw, it's Mahomes. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now here's Mahomes. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they get it down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now Mahomes. That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, just like last play.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
Back now at Ford Field. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one rookie tackler. It's 2nd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. 2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Raiders' 27. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the 1st down. So you got to think, if you're on the defense side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. 4th down again to Gibbs. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Mahomes now to throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. And good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. From the 5, 2nd and 4. Here's Mahomes to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll give when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And It's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 7-6, 2:15 remaining. And the fourth down stop gives them a new lifeline, at least for the moment. To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
Well, they come up with one timeout and the 2-minute warning to work with. Here's 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe he starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play, but Mark Brunell, when he's with Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy's on fire.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Jackson will throw again to Henry. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will get out of bounds here as well. What a play. Big yardage. They stop the clock. And they move it to the boundary of field goal range as well. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play. Get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds. Understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Well, they run the option here on 1st and 10. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Throw caught by Flowers. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here we go, 1st and goal. Throwing, Jackson. Throw right side will be taken in by Henry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion.
The Ravens will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Jackson to throw. He's got it at the 2. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. after the touchdown. Luke back out to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now it's the Lions' turn, trailing by a touchdown. 1:08 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Mahomes. Goes to Laporta, right side. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. First and 10. Completes this to Jefferson. We are inside of 1 minute, only one timeout left, so they've got to move quickly.
Get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure they're set. No penalties in this situation, but you're exactly right. Conserve that timeout for when they really need it.
2nd and 6 coming up. Mahomes. That's complete to Laporta. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And as the two teams talking over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's first down. Mahomes. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
No timeouts left. Of course, the defense knows that too. Here's first and 10. One final try for Mahomes. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. With zeros on the clock. And an extra point will send us to OT. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Mahomes, and he's going to go down. He's sacked before he can get rid of the football. And they remain down by a point. Well, there's no doubt this is going to be talked about for days to come. The decision to go for two in the win with all zeros on the clock, and they don't get it. Some questions to answer.
No doubt about it, and I'm always reminded by people I've worked with before, by coaches I've talked to, they always say you have to know what you're going to do ahead of time. Don't let emotion rule you, because the people on the sidelines, the guys on the team, let's go get it. You've got to make that decision as a staff during the week, away from everyone else. That's the question we'll be asking after the game.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Paid for this?